Ever wondered what it'd be like to have supernatural powers? Maybe you'd want to fly, read minds, or even stop time. Well, I know I've definitely thought about it a few times. Who wouldn't want to escape the daily grind with some awesome abilities, right? But while we're still waiting on our superpowers to kick in, there's no shortage of TV shows that let us live vicariously through characters with extraordinary abilities. Today, we're diving into 10 incredible TV dramas that are absolutely packed with superpowered action and complex characters that'll keep you hooked episode after episode. Now here's the kicker, no Marvel or DC shows here. Nope, today we're going off the beaten path and exploring some hidden gems and fan favorites that deserve your attention. Ready? Let's jump right in! 1. Stranger Things. Alright, I'm kicking things off with a show that has practically become a cultural phenomenon. Stranger Things. I mean, how could we not talk about it? It's got everything. Friendship, nostalgia, and of course, some seriously creepy supernatural stuff. Set in the small town of Hawkins, Indiana. In the 80s, this series starts with a young boy, Will Byers, vanishing under mysterious circumstances. And his disappearance sends his friends, Mike, Dustin, and Lucas, on an adventure to find him. But what they stumble upon is a strange girl who has supernatural powers and no memory of where she came from. Her name, or at least what she goes by, is Eleven. And let me tell you, the bond she forms with these boys while facing off against terrifying monsters from another dimension is what really makes this show special. Plus, it's packed with 80s nostalgia, arcades, Dungeons and Dragons, you name it. What I love most is how these kids, despite being totally outmatched, manage to fight off terrifying government agents, monsters, and even a parallel dimension. Stranger Things is pure heart, humor, and horror all rolled into one. It's a must-watch. And if you somehow haven't started it yet, what are you doing? Get on Netflix and dive in. 2. The Boys. Now, if you're tired of the superheroes are perfect trope, The Boys is your next binge. This show flips everything you know about superheroes on its head. Here's the deal. In this world, superheroes are basically rock stars. They're famous, beloved by millions, and marketed like products. But, and it's a big but, these heroes known as the Seven are often the worst kind of people behind closed doors. They're corrupt, selfish, and abusive. And the show takes you down a path that explores the consequences of unchecked power. On the flip side, you've got the Boys, a scrappy group of vigilantes determined to take these so-called heroes down a notch. What I love about this show is how it makes you question the cost of heroism and fame. Plus, the action sequences are wild, and the characters are incredibly flawed, making them all the more interesting. If you want something gritty, violent, and filled with jaw-dropping moments, The Boys on Amazon Prime will not disappoint. 3. The Umbrella Academy. Let's switch gears a bit to something more quirky and heartwarming. Next up is the Umbrella Academy. Imagine this. 43 women around the world give birth at the exact same time on the same day, and none of them were pregnant that morning. Yeah, wild, right? Enter Sir Reginald Hargreaves, an eccentric billionaire who adopts 7 of these miracle children, all of whom have unique powers. He raises them to be a superhero team known as the Umbrella Academy. But like any family, things don't go according to plan. The kids grow up with all sorts of emotional baggage, and the team eventually falls apart. Years later, they're forced to reunite after Hargreaves' mysterious death, and what follows is a mind-bending journey involving time travel, impending apocalypse, and of course, sibling drama. What I love about this show is that beyond all the cool superpowers, it's really about family. The relationships between these siblings are so messy, but so relatable. Plus, if you're a fan of dark humor, this show has plenty of that too. So grab some popcorn and check out the Umbrella Academy on Netflix. 4. the magicians. Next up, we're going to dive deep into the magical world of the magicians. If you've ever wondered what it would be like if Harry Potter had a darker, more grown-up twist, then this is the show for you. The story revolves around Quentin Coldwater, a seemingly ordinary guy who's obsessed with a fantasy book series. His life takes a wild turn when he discovers that magic is real, and he's got the potential to wield it. Quentin enrolls in Brakebills University, a secret school for magic, where he and his friends learn that magic isn't all fun and games. It's dark, dangerous, and can have disastrous consequences. What really draws you in here are the characters. They're flawed, they're complex, and their journeys are so compelling. The Magicians doesn't shy away from tackling real issues like depression, identity, and trauma, all while serving up mind-blowing magical adventures. If you want a show that blends fantasy with raw human emotion, The Magicians is waiting for you on Netflix. 5. Ragnarok. Now let's head over to Norway with Ragnarok, a show that brings modern mythology to life. At the center of this series is Magna, a teenager who returns to the small town of Edda with his family. Little does he know, he's about to inherit the powers of Thor, the Norse god of thunder. As Magna starts to discover his new abilities, he also uncovers dark secrets about the powerful Judal family, who seem to be responsible for the town's environmental destruction. There's a lot of tension between the old world of Norse mythology and the modern world's fight against environmental collapse, which makes this show stand out. Magna is thrown into this age-old battle between gods and giants, and the stakes just keep getting higher. It's a fresh take on superhero mythology wrapped up in a modern-day environmental crisis. Ragnarok is intense, mysterious, and honestly pretty addictive. Find it on Netflix. 6. Misfits. Now, I've got something for you that's a little bit offbeat but incredibly fun. Misfits is one of those shows that surprises you with how much you end up loving it. Picture this, a group of 5 young offenders doing community service. After a freak storm, they suddenly develop superpowers. But unlike your typical superhero story, these powers are pretty unconventional and often linked to their personal flaws. Curtis can turn back time, Alicia makes people lust after her, Simon can turn invisible, Kelly reads minds, and Nathan, well, you'll have to watch to find out his power. What I love about Misfits is how it flips the superhero genre on its head. These characters are far from perfect. They're sarcastic, flawed, and sometimes downright unlikable. But that's what makes their journey so fascinating. It's funny, dark, and totally unpredictable. You can stream it on Hulu and thank me later. 7. The Uncanny Counter. Next on our list is The Uncanny Counter, and let me tell you, this one is a hidden gem. In this show, you've got a secret group of people with supernatural abilities who work undercover as noodle shop employees by day and hunt down evil spirits by night. Each member of the team has a unique power, from super strength to psychic abilities, and together they take on malevolent spirits that threaten humanity. It's got a perfect mix of action, mystery, and heartwarming moments. Plus, there's something about the idea of fighting demons while running a noodle shop that's just kind of awesome. You can watch it on Netflix. 8. Wednesday. You might think you know Wednesday Addams, but Wednesday on Netflix takes her to a whole new level. This series follows the iconic Addams family daughter as she's sent to Nevermore Academy, a school for outcasts where her psychic abilities begin to emerge. She's sarcastic, brilliant, and always up to something mischievous. But in this series, Wednesday also takes on a mystery. There's a monster terrorizing the local town, and she's determined to find out who or what it is. The show is dark, funny, and full of gothic charm. It's a must-watch for fans of the Addams Family or anyone who loves a good mystery. 9. Heroes. Heroes is a classic. If you haven't watched it yet, you're in for a treat. This show starts with a solar eclipse that triggers the emergence of superpowers in ordinary people across the world. You've got all kinds of abilities here: flight, time manipulation, mind reading, and more. What makes Heroes stand out is its ensemble cast of characters who are all connected by a bigger mystery, a looming catastrophe that only they can stop. It's intense, emotional, and full of unexpected twists. This one's a bit of a throwback, but it's totally worth revisiting. 10. Alphas last, but not least, we have Alphas. This show follows a group of seemingly ordinary people who have enhanced abilities, whether it's super strength or hyper-intelligence. But they're not invincible. Each of their abilities comes with a downside, making them more human and relatable. Together, they form a team led by Dr. Lee Rosen, who helps them solve cases involving other Alphas. It's a bit like X-Men meets CSI, but with a focus on how their abilities affect their personal lives. If you like shows that explore both the perks and pitfalls of having powers, Alphas is a hidden gem worth checking out on Sci-Fi, and that's our list. Which of these shows are you going to watch first? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more awesome recommendations. See you in the next video.